Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today I'm just doing a very simple, unscripted video about AMD's upcoming flagship GPU called Vega. This is something I did before I did it. It was called like my opinion on the RX 480, and it was just basically what I know so far and what I think it will mean for the GPU itself. Now, I've talked about this more extensively over on the live show I do called The Tech Lounge. You can look it up on YouTube or head over to Brian's channel, Brian from Tech City. I'll leave the link in the description down below because it goes up on his channel, and we've been doing that live stream together for a little while now, and it's been really fun, and we talk about a lot of the news type stuff and that over there. So you definitely want to catch me on that show if you like to hear about all the tech news and what I think of it. Now, let's talk about Vega then. So, there's not a hell of a lot of information out there right now, and even less of it has actually been confirmed. So, I'll just talk about the things that I'm pretty sure about, not things that we're unsure or haven't been verified or anything like that. The things I can be sure it will have. Now, the first thing is, let's talk about the GPU itself. So, it will be 14 nanometer, 99.9% sure of that. Will be a 14 nanometer FinFET design, so that'll be good. And it's also going to be coming with 4096 stream processors, which is the same as what you get on the Fiji XT GPU in the Fury X. So that's quite good also. Obviously, with IPC gains and everything else, it will have higher performance than the Fury X, even though it will have a similar amount of the same amount of stream processors. So yeah, you can expect this to be a very powerful GPU. This is obviously aimed at the flagship, so that's really good. And yeah, I think it's going to have a lot of performance. It's always hard to say beforehand. We overhyped the Fury X way too much, and then it disappointed some people. So I'm not going to be doing that here, but you can obviously tell this is aimed at the high end. This will be made to directly compete with, depending on how they do the different SKUs, the 1080 and 1070, and potentially the 1080 Ti if that comes out beforehand, which I don't think it will. We'll talk about that a bit later. Let's move on to memory. So it's going to be running HBM2. Now, HBM is quite complicated to explain, and I don't want to lose a lot of you guys that don't really understand how HBM works. But basically, it's a stacked memory which is stacked around the GPU die. Now, what does that mean? It means the memories can be very fast. You can have the limitation on HBM1 was the amount you could have, the Fury X only being 4 gigs, whereas this time we're looking at 8 gigs and potentially 16 gigs as well. So that'll be very good amount of memory there, way more than enough, especially at 16. It also means you have tremendous memory bandwidth, which is another really good point. So it's basically very fast, very good memory right by the GPU die stacked. And this is very good. This will mean there'll be no problems with sort of memory flow issues or anything like that. So memory-wise, the Vega GPUs are looking to be extremely good. And if rumors are that the 1080 Ti will just be running GDDR5, which I'm not too sure about. I think they will most likely use what the 1080 uses, which is GDDR5X, which has double the data rate. But yeah, it leads me to believe that Vega will have the better memory by comparison to the 1080 Ti. But obviously, we'll have to see when more information comes out. Now, TDP wise, so AMD is saying it's less than 300 watt TDP. Okay, that's pretty much to be expected. Personally, I've heard rumors and things like that it will be a 225 watt TDP. If that is true, and I assume the 1080 Ti will have a 250 watt TDP, you'll actually see that if the Vega GPU, the top one, performs the same as the 1080 Ti, it'll actually be AMD with the lower TDP graphics card, which will be quite interesting. Now, when is it coming out? Hard to say. Some people are saying June, could be sooner. As far as what's going to happen, I highly doubt the 1080 Ti will come out before Vega. NVIDIA's done this before. If you cast your minds back, or if you do not know, I'll tell you now. when AMD was releasing the 200 series, NVIDIA had their 700 series out. The 780, GTX 780 was king. Then the 290X came out and beat the 780. And NVIDIA was just waiting patiently for the 290X to come out. Then they released the 780 Ti, which beat the 290X, so they would stay king. They're going to do exactly the same thing now. They will wait. Vega will come out, probably beat the 1080, then they'll release the 1080 Ti, which will be very, very similar to the Titan XP, and maybe a slightly cut down version where maybe it does about 1 or 2 frames less. So if you want to have an idea of what performance you can expect out of 1080 Ti, just look up the Titan XP's performance. And yeah, that will pretty much be how it is. However, if Vega, astonishingly, and I do not think this will be the case, but if it is more powerful than a Titan XP, then NVIDIA might be in a little bit of trouble, but I highly, highly doubt it. So that's what I see, and that's my opinion on what I think will happen with Vega going forward. Now, there's other things we could talk about, but a lot of them aren't verified, and I don't want to talk about too many rumors, but that is just my prediction going forward. So I want to know with you guys, comment down below. What do you think about Vega? What are some things you've heard maybe? And what performance do you think, based off the specs that we've seen so far, or maybe some of the specs you've seen, where do you think Vega's going to end up in terms of performance? Do you think it's going to be bang on with the 1080? You think it's going to absolutely destroy the 1080? I'd really like to know what you guys think about AMD Vega in the comment section down below. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Tech Showdown, if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.